En een hele goede middag weer. Dit is haar guy met weer Final Fantasy 14. De volgende stap. Kijk, we zijn nu volgens mij bij level 83 in de MSQ. En dat gaan we dan eventjes verder doen. Nadat we eerst even gaan inloggen, uiteraard. Oké, 27 in de queue. Niet zo lang wachten, denk ik. Jawel. Goed, we gaan gewoon verder bij waar we gebleven waren. Is Park Materials. Oké. Goed. We begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. Okay. First location is Forum Soleus, park to the northwest of this station. But to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. Oké, ik denk niet dat we... Ik kan een mount hier doen. Holy shit. Hier gewoon mounten. Dus. Cool. Even kijken. Oké, hier is het. Nou, verder. Zeer benieuwd. In gesproken tekst, maar geen gesproken stem. Oh, this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. Houses were later built around them. Healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus Zos Galvus. Become to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. While I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then with your permission, we will commence the search. Okay, ik zie iets. War Machina wreckage. Interacting. A cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of ceruleum. Julius said. Well, duh. Okay. What else? Contraption is built in the style of Imperial walkmaking, armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations. But on closer inspection, it appears to be no more than a children's slide. Something must be going up here. Something must be left. Let's see. Up there. Okay. Down there. Counter. Okay, no ceruleum. Helemaal leeg. Hé, wat heb je nu weer te zeggen? Had je any luck? There's no sign of any ceruleum. Ah, go figure. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. Yeah. I couldn't help noticing you're gazing at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes. No, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over. Like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. I would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. Be sopping wet when all was said and done, every time. Every time when we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. A ceruleum-powered heater by chance? I suppose it must have been. Think of it, I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath a hatch. That was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. Can't see a thing and I can't remember where the hatch might be. The machinery most likely broken. The amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold though. Just what are your thoughts on magic? Iron would jump out of their skin if they saw it. But the first has a few foreign signiferi and medici, so it doesn't scare me. I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now. Elfino, you have a knack for finding dry wood. Why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of earth fire should do the trick. Leave it to me. Okay. Not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. That tank isn't going to fetch itself. Duh. Nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed cerulean from a frozen lake like how the peppers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. That's insane. Really. Oh, fancy a dip? Last thing I need is you catching a cold. Yep. Okay. Point of interest. Okay, 4. Still in the rock around. Come empty-handed. An inch of the icy wind on your damp clothing chills you to the bone. Okay. Chilled to the bone, okay. Okay, last okay, what's going on? Might turn up something. Okay, an empty hand. Okay, open the hatch and retrieve a cerulean tank. I don't see anything, it's empty. Area grand discovery comes at great personal cost as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and a red-hot odor emanating from every ilm of your body. Julius would doubtless feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver him to your prize. Okay. Okay. Did you find anything? Oh, okay. That's it. There's still some cerulean left. Fire is still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alfino a hand. Only an will down because by fire I am reborn, and Wells are mostly dry now too. Appreciate you recovering the ceruleum. I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he would be most displeased. Concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. You grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. Our father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire awarded an estate. We lived well, better than many. That was Garlemald like. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything you could imagine, so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome. Knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite the ice would melt and the forgotten grass makes its triumphant return. Grey clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb to the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sun rise. That's a pretty picture. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble. Those friends dead, and those memories. I could claim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon our chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer. Okay, this park materials complete. Next, no good deed. Move on. Alright, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search, just outside the park. Okay, let's go. Yeah. As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of war machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units, those that look a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time. The time being now. Rather than prise them apart piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing. Using compact explosive. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing. Though the force generated by these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering though, we'll check the machina's ceruleum gauge to see if there's any left. It should still provide the accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. The gauge is broken. I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. you need more, come to me. Understood. Get to work. Let's start here then. Empty. Yes. This one maybe. Broken. Empty. I need more explosive. Oh, oké. Een beetje verder achter. Nee, er is verder niks. Dus moet ik terug. Eens kijken wat we nog meer kunnen vinden. Oh, daar. No. Broken. Half full. Okay. Here is it. More explosive. Wait. Is that what I think it is? Yes, it is what you think it is. More ceruleum. On the outside. No. Skill. This we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we headed back. I want to go see how LSA and Alpha are faring. Okay. Ik wacht wel. Okay.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we?
Oh, dit is interessant.
Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside. When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development. And perhaps
Agreed.
The opportunity we've been waiting for.
That too.
Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
Until then.
They had not gone far.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage. For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
Okay.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all what I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
The time for action is upon us.
Excuse me.
My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
Die gek geworden of zo? Misschien.
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question. Will they ever escape this cold? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Eula spoke?
Finished your war, Council?
Alphino and Alea to stay here as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil. Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Okay, have faith.
Get them out of here.
Okay, Alphino and Alea will be fine, providing they do not resist. No good deed complete. Op naar de volgende. Alea lacta est. You will accompany me back to camp. I will meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. For depart, however, there's something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, their surrender will need to be transported here. Task falls to Legionnaires Marcellinus and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. Are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the Isle for further details. Once you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. You again. Yes, ask the Isle, he said. Get away with it. All this. Ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. Those are my orders, then so be it. For the glory of Bedfellows. En junkmonger. Kan ik überhaupt wel junkmongen? som TVR. Gör man på me. Blah blah blah. Hostile. Reach a decision. You only would understand. Savages. Richard. Meet him. Meet George. Compromising. Compromise. Our grandmother will fulfill my. Here we are. Okay. Yes, wait here. I bet I know what this is.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was, until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. Garlean flag bears a chain. The bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center. The blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
It's no use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But she wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
So cold.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined.
True that.
But it only spurs me onward. To find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
Those are wise words, Alphino.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Nope.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess...
Oops.
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alice.
The scouts have secured Alea and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed.
Apparently so.
I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
Okay.
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return! Stop, both of you!
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity.
Okay.
I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity.
Oké, weer zo'n elitist monoloog.
We are ghosts, you and I. Memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
What? What is he doing? He's trying to off himself? What a coward.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Oh my god. Die lafaard heeft gewoon zichzelf afgemaakt. Oh my. Zo hé. Het is echt dat Square Enix dit durft, hé. Oh, that as for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. Well, that's not gonna happen. Not anymore. Alea lacta est complete. Volgende. Accept. Strange Bedfellows. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry. A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic. But perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Julius back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave. For the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alea and the scouts sent to extricate them would already be at the station. I will also have our other comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. Okay. Top. Treinstation volgen. Hi, Alea. I'm back again. Okay. Alleen maar tekst. Oké. Arva en Julius. Arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? Lord Quintus took his own life. The news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then he was alone. He blah. Wouldn't. Yes, he did. The coward did. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. Released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Allowed him to guide us, we're blah blah blah. I've just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugee here to Camp Broken Glass. They be willing to accept our aid. I would rather die. Most of us just want to live. And be damned. Just want to live. Yeah. Speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. Any would prefer to stay. We can have supplies brought over to them. It will be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach our camp safely. Ooh, Ooh, I'm so scared alone. Ja, dat komt ervan als je je hele leven lang een schaapje bent. Okay. What now? Okay. Ja. Nog meer. En buiten is dat. We have much to discuss. Yes, we do. Blah, blah, blah. Conqueror's chain of our Lamenson friend. Save it for the Templeton. Mark a few points that need surveying on the map. Take riffraff and we'll meet back at our camp. And of course it's working now. Tuning, yes. Jawel. Puntjes, ja. Oké. Nou. Eerst naar buiten. Oké, deze kant op. Oké, destination. Oké, weer een instance waar we iets moet gaan vechten, denk ik. Ja. Oké. 1 van de 4. Even kijken. Dat is al die kant op. Railway train. In de buurt. Daar. Oké. Riffraff. Eentje. Tempered Imperial. Hè? Ik heb fout gedaan. Of moet ik misschien dat... Oh, wacht even. Conqueror's Chain. Yes. Boom. Oké. Even kijken. Nog 2. Andere kant van het spoor. Het is niet echt al te snel. En nog eens een keertje aan de andere kant. Oké. Nog wat riffraff. Nou, oké, dat is heel fijn. En... deze kant op. Okay. Okay, capture Conqueror's chain. Yes. Speak with Tancred. En oké, dan moet ik daar doen. Verderop. Nou, dat toch? And there you are. Okay. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. Tempered proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies can take them into custody. That taken care of. Time to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. I'll see to that. Do you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from the recent scouting forays. But I'll save that for later. First things first. All that. Toch al dichtbij, dus ik hoef niet transporten. Daar is ze. I was informed of Quintus's suicide. He must have come. Yep. The refugees, I'm told some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear your first-hand account. So many did not hesitate to accept. Proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. Troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugees. Perfidy notwithstanding. After all, even if I wanted to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. We will tell our allies that these soldiers are acting under the direct orders of delegators and that on suicide they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that if he lived he would be tried as a war criminal and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life he hoped to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. Yeah, fanatic. Who can say? I didn't know the man or his heart. Reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him. It falls to us to clean up the mess. Yeah, that's basically how it goes. Okay, in from the cold. Assume you're curious about how matters have progressed here in your absence. Quite well, as it happens. Now that we've procured ceruleum from Tapper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide much needed warmth. Furthermore, we've prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium shall find a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. Here's one for you, so go ahead and get some well-earned rest. I believe that we're capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. On your way, might I ask you to seek Storla? She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she meant to be taking the rest herself. See that she is. Yeah, okay. Yes, I have been taking proper breaks and am imbibing sufficient water. One of the Warrior of Light. You and the twins have an established history of reckless disregard for your own well-being. We're all fortunate that none of you landed yourselves in my care. Already quite enough to deal with between the tempered and the first wounded. The last, though, didn't mend their bodies, told their experiences have taken on their hearts and minds is another matter altogether. For their sakes, mustn't waver. Nor must we rush ahead, eagerness to see the day won, and in so doing invite disaster. Okay. Kijken wat dit is. Filmpje.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Warmth. At last.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Minson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
The hells you did! We were there every step of the way!
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
I did a damn sight more than you lily-livered bilge rat!
Take that back!
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here.
At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it. I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rifts between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea, the Ilsabard contingent. We owe it all to you. We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. I much prefer the latter. I'm honored to fight by your side, As an Eorzean and Garlean both, I shall do all in my power to bring my peoples together.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
Oeh, leuk kleurtje.
Thank you for inviting me today.
What? Emperor Varus?
They are being tempered. The talismans! Quickly!
Save me, brave hero! Ahem. My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
What the fuck is going on here? Let's see what happens.
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Now, it is time for you to awaken.
Is dat waar?
Good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh.
Huh?
So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing. We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alea.
I don't remember anything like that.
His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject.
Give me back my body.
And permit you to go on a righteous rampage instead of partaking in this delicious meal? I think not. I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes.
Oké, wat is dat?
Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate.
Oh.
Exposition is in order. The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course. As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Galvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory. And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself. And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Garlean spirit, their anima.
What?
It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight. And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of Anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Silence, of course.
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery. Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo. Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us, of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion.
A reunion? Really?
Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star. The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone. At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger, and it would seem my friend has lost her appetite. I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion, but clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of the Ascians, I too claimed another's as my own. It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself. Together.
Holy crap.
Oh dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak. We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity.
Oké, wat gaat er nu gebeuren?
Ah, there it is. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making her way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy. Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue. Tempered soldiers, with standing orders to kill those not sworn to Anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
Okay. Duty calls. Dagon instance. Okay. Proceed.
Bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
Pay your respects. Respect. Okay. Interact. Weapons should still function. You may be able to clear a path if you can find the identification key and fuel. Identification key and fuel. Waar staat het alweer? Moet ik weer even terugkijken. Okay. Hero. Dit is hem. Dit is de NPC waar ik... Nu moet ik fuel hebben. Nee, dit. Ah, fuel. Mooi. Ik heb de key en ik heb de fuel. Refueling. Oké. Mounting. Yes. Dismount. After your rough treatment, the matchstick repair has gone from merely immobile to entirely inoperable. stukje verder al. Kijken waar naartoe. Oké, wat gebeurt er nu? Ik ben benieuwd. Ready. If time maneuver, okay. Oh. Dat is niet goed. Kom op. Oké, wat nu? Oké. Back at camp.
It is a miracle we were able to restrain the Tempered without suffering casualties.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Eulus? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Right when the first wave struck, we'd be fools to think it a coincidence. But where even to begin the search? No one saw her leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
While I know full well she can handle herself, I worry all the same.
Ah, speak of the devil.
Well, time to call off the search.
Case closed.
That's her, over there.
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive her presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties. But
Where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Now, all's well that ends well. Are you all right?
Are you all right?
Who are you?
A lever. Enough, she knows.
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go. But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I have yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective, that. Charitable souls that you are, you bent over backwards to aid them. Heedless of the delay. Predictable to a fault. And so my plan approaches completion unhindered. Anima will soon have absorbed the requisite amount of ether. And then shall come the spectacle to end all spectacles.
Oh yeah, is that so?
The eldest and most powerful of primals will awaken, and all shall bear witness to the final days!
The gods themselves will be my meal. Your dear companions my dessert. Upon this world I'll feast, and death shall follow in my wake.
It's a bold statement.
All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation.
Thank goodness.
She's awake.
Everyone all right?
Perfectly fine, yes. I hope the same can be said of you.
Everything in working order? That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly. A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Van Daniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly. Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
Okay. We're certain you're well. Nothing out of place. No missing bits. Good. Though I won't promise the same for Van Daniel and Xenos after I'm through with them. How much must these people suffer before they're satisfied? How many cruel, pointless tricks must be they play? Prelude to the final days, or no? This ends now. In from the cold, complete. Oh boy. Alright. I think I will leave it at this. Ik hou het hierbij voor vandaag. En ben al blij dat ik hier doorheen ben gekomen. Ik zou zeggen, volgende keer gaan we verder. En dit is tot de volgende keer. Tabé.